In this tutorial, you'll learn how to output text files, multiple text files from a .text file into an Excel format. You'll be able to do this for a maximum of 36 files. Here is the original template for the VB script. For every file that's outputted here, there will be a yes column that then signifies the number of files you want to output. Having a look at the VB script, you name the sub. You then declare the initial variables j, I, q as long, and you have this myActiveSheet here in order to conveniently get a shortcut for application.activesheet.name. Here is the initialization section. If sheets myActiveSheet.range E39 is equal to yes, then, so having a look at E39, so all of these things met the criteria, and therefore this is yes, so this is an easy way to debug any problems. My number of input files is equal to sheets myActiveSheet.range C39.value. So let's look at C39, and you can see it's equal to 3, which corresponds to include in the calculation here. And the Excel formula for this is count C3 to C38, and only count if it's equal to yes. It's a very easy way to count the number of files you want to turn from text to Excel. And this is the main part, and my number of output files is also equal to this as well. And my input files data range starts as a root from range B3, and this is used further down in the script. And then you set the array to have this number, so in this case it's 3, my number of input files, so the array has 3 columns, and my file path input array also has 3 columns. This is the way to access the object of text opening in VBA Excel. You access the file system object, scripting.filesystem object in this way, and you set it to myFSO object, and doing this allows you to utilize all the Excel VBA commands that are available for opening and reading files.
Because I have had to quote our fast track service. I have had to quote our fast track service. That's fine, they give that to us. Well, they used to. I guess it's because he saw the email from me.
So my input files data range corresponds to this B3 value there, and it goes from B3 and it loops down B4, B5 all the way down, using this for j is equal to 0 to range C39.value -1. So as you loop through, you add the my file path input array name to this array, and this array then collects every single name down here and stores it one by one as a for loop. And then you have a debugging error just in case that this file name doesn't actually exist on your computer, or there's an error with the way you've named your file. And then you end the if statement, you end the for loop, and the next section I'm going to use I to be initialized to be 10, which will be seen later. So start as before for j equals 0 to range C39.value -1. If the file path input array doesn't exist, if it exists, then set q is equal to 2, and set my file path input array j equal to myFS object.open text file. Now you can start the files reading. first thing you want to do is have a certain number of columns for your array. So you set it to equal to 12 in this case. Now it's up to you depending on your text, but as you can see here, there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11 columns. So you want to set a maximum number so you can add them as you go along to your array. So here I could have written 11, but it was just 12 to be safe. And notice here I skip a line. This is because here is unnecessary information that is just the title to your array columns. Next is very important, do until my input file array j dot at end of stream. So this says keep reading file line by line until you're done, which is the at end of stream meaning. So it's going to read through one line at a time.
Let's go back to what we were saying.
This piece of script is very important if you want to divide the outputted text file into different number of sheets, and that automates it for you. It just loops through every single sheet. And here you can see you're reading the text file, and then you're adding it to this array here. Next thing is to split the array, and this splits it up into the line's individual values. Individual values being this value, this value, this value, and this value, and so on. Then you select the active range sheet you're working with, and you loop through. So it starts at, as we specified here, 10. And as this is y, comma x, you'll see that 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. It will start here at j, which is the first I value. Then you'll add another I value for your next input in the array, and you're accessing the array column through this, parentheses 2. So accesses this, parentheses 3, accesses the next one, and it goes on and on and on. And the queue is for every read line, and once it loops through, once it reads through one line, and queue as well will then be added, and queue will specify the next y value. So you're not overriding your values that you're outputting. You then close it, you end the loop, and then you end the sub. You can run the script with F5, and you'll see, starting from sheet 1, all the numbers have been outputted, starting from I is equal to 10, which is corresponding to j, and so on and so forth.